guys, welcome back once again to Chalk Talk with Big Ben. I think this is the 5th episode now. Filming it actually right after the 4th episode because I kind of ran out of time because I had an abundance of questions. I thought I could get through them all, but I didn't want to try to rush the last few of them. So yeah, this one should be a little bit shorter, hopefully. Although now that I have the extra time, I might start blabbing a little bit more, so bear with me on that. Sufiendi, I think, just read the name on the screen because I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Your training style, Sheiko still. Did you manage the best gains doing that or something else? Advice for anyone interested in that high frequency style training. Almost never see logs with strong people benching and squatting in the same workout, at least on this site. He's talking about tnation.com, where I do some logging. Alright, yeah, I'm still running a Sheiko-based routine, which I got a question, I think, before that was, what is Sheiko, or who is Sheiko? And I'm just going to clarify that now, too. It's a Russian-style routine named after Boris Sheiko, who was the coach of... he's a coach in Russia, powerlifting coach, very prolific coach and well-known. And I really like his methods, especially as a baseline. High frequency, high volume. I'm squatting Mondays and Fridays, sometimes twice in the same workout. I'm benching. I was benching for a while, 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Now I'm benching 3 days a week and military pressing on that 4th workout, which would be the Saturday. And I'm deadlifting twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The idea behind that training is that you're getting really good at those lifts. It's really hard to bench and squat and deadlift with that kind of, with that kind of frequency and that kind of volume and not get pretty good at performing those lifts. You build that muscle memory very quickly with that style of training. It's very intense and it's very hard on your body. If you're going to do a program like this, the high frequency, you really have to be solid on your rest, on your nutrition, everything else. I definitely take care of myself very well, especially on days when I'm not working out. And there's not really any days that I go into the gym where I don't feel at least a little bit beat up from my last workout. And so there's definitely a mental toughness that comes into it, where one of my favorite quotes, John Bros down in Las Vegas, they do the training every day where they squat every day. It's either a back squat or a front squat for their Olympic lifting. And it's, I think the quote is, your body is lying to you. And that really spoke to me, because there's so many times when you go into a workout and you don't feel like you're going to have a very good day, you're feeling slow, you're sluggish, you're not feeling great, everything, your cat died, I don't know, everything just kind of feels off. And then you go in, you have just like the most amazing workout of your life. And then there's some days where you go in, you feel like $1,000,000, and you start in your first set and you just kind of all the way down, and you end up having just a poor workout on a day where you felt like you were going to just destroy the world. And that's just how it goes sometimes. But I like the idea, at least in this style of training, where I have a specific number that I'm supposed to finish. And with Sheiko, if you finish the workout, you're getting stronger, because it is hard. You get to that second round of squats sometimes. You come in, you hit 5 sets of 3 squats at 80-85%, do a whole bunch of bench pressing, and then you come back over to the squat and you pick up your first warm-up set, and it feels like the heaviest set you've ever done. That's a weird feeling. That gets you in the head. Just you start doubting whether you can do it or not. But then you push it out, and the reps hurt, but you make it through, and you finish the workout, and you just got better because Boris told you to. And so with that style of training, I'd say you need to make sure that you are going into it with the right mindset of, I just need to get through, I need to do this even if it doesn't feel great, and I need to understand that sometimes my body's not going to feel the most amazing when I'm doing these workouts, and you need to make sure that you're on top of your recovery. You need to get enough sleep, you need to get enough food, you need to, you can't ignore your body when you're hurt, but you can definitely tell it to quiet down a little bit when it complains or it feels, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. You know what? You are, Eric Frankhauser, you are your maker, and you make the decisions as far as what you're going to be able to do and if you're really going to commit to getting better that day. Um, I definitely made some good gains doing other programs too. I do want to give a shout out to Jim Wendler and the 531 program. It's incredible. It's simple and it works. And if you are, I give a lot of people the advice of that's a good program whether you're a beginner or whether you're a more advanced lifter, because you can really, it's flexible and you can shape it to what you need to get better. And again, it focuses on the core lifts. I'm a big believer in making sure you are squatting, benching, and deadlifting at least once a week. I know there's people who say, the West Side, which is another great program that I respect. I respect highly Louis Simmons and all he's done and the West Side program. And I know they don't deadlift very often, especially from the ground against a heavy weight. I know that I've tried stuff like that before where I don't deadlift very often and my deadlift goes down. I wouldn't train my bench by not bench pressing. I like to train my deadlift by deadlifting. And so I like those kind of programs that include all those, and I just like the way Wendler approaches it. And so if you're looking for a program to do and you haven't tried the 531 and you just came out with the 531 for powerlifting, go ahead and give it a shot. I definitely implement a lot of his techniques, and I own those ebooks. I bought them. I didn't go and copy them illegally somewhere. I bought those because I think he deserves props for what he did, and he's taken the time to answer questions for people and help them out. And so I think if you're interested in finding a program, that's a great one. And my boy Ben Seath, he swears by it. So go ahead and give it a look, and you'll probably be happy. If you run it right and you run it solid and for a long period of time, you're going to get stronger. I don't see how it's possible not to. So, Shukin, Ben, who has been an influence on you in life and in training? Is there any one person who stands out, and why? I have been so blessed to have been surrounded by people who have positively influenced me and my training and just anything I do. My family is very supportive of this. They're very supportive of the lifestyle that I have while I'm lifting. It's a very disciplined lifestyle, and it's definitely, when you're competing at a high level, it kind of is a selfish lifestyle. Same with bodybuilding or any other strength sport. You really have to focus on yourself to get better. All my training partners have been incredibly influential on me. Ben Seath, Zach McCarley, Fletcher Pierce, Nate King, Adam Bighill, my good friend, my best friend, who plays for the BC Lions up in Canada. They just won the Canadian equivalent to the Super Bowl, the Grey Cup, and all these people who I have spent a large quantity of my time training with have just been instrumental in developing my ability to get better at things, and I've definitely taken ideas from them all. And I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that can influence you in a positive way, and to kind of block out the things that are negative. My family's been very supportive in all this, and put up with me when I'm stubborn and making decisions based on my training that may not be the best for the family, as far as just our overall happiness and living together when I'm home. But honestly, I think that whenever you encounter someone, you have an opportunity to influence their life in either a positive or a negative way. And so anytime that I do encounter someone, I make it a personal goal to make that a positive encounter. And I think that everyone should really strive to do that, because there's been a lot of people. The first time I ever met Brent Mikesell, he was probably the first professional powerlifter I ever met, and I was just blown away at how incredibly nice this incredibly strong man was, and how supportive he was, and how willing he was to listen to what I had to say and my questions. And so if you have that opportunity to kind of give back, and share with the people that are coming to you with questions, because I know I'm not the only one who gets questions about things. If a lot of people watching this are interested and want to know how to help people in their own gym. Be a positive influence to the sport, and be an ambassador and show people why this is so great. And just be a positive force in the world. As corny or cheesy as that might sound, I think we should all strive to make every encounter we have a good one with people. And don't let your own negative situations affect them. If you're having a bad day, just remember that there's always someone watching you. Gabriel 11:22:8. I'm not gonna count all those numbers off. Just want to ask you for a legs routine, and then goes on. He has a lot of specifics about this leg routine. I really want to address this. I do appreciate you guys coming to me with questions, and I want to do everything that I can to help you pursue your strength goals, or your lifting goals, or just your life goals. Anything that I can help you with, I want to. But I do need to make it apparent that I don't have time to just sit down and write routines for people. And I really can't do it anyway, at least in this kind of a relationship of someone who I've never met and don't know their training style, or their training history, or their background, or their strengths or weaknesses, or body composition, or what their diet's like, or if they have any limitations through injury or age or any of that. All those things factor into what you should be doing in the weight room. And so it's really hard for me to just have someone come, hey, can you make me a leg routine? I want to get, if... I wish that I could. I wish I had the time in the day to do that, but it takes a lot of my time to do just this much already, and so I can't commit to building routines for everybody. What I do try to do is, if someone comes and they find a leak and they have a routine and they have a set of goals laid out and they can share those with me, usually I have time to at least look that over. And because I still have some time, and I don't have the huge following that some of the bigger name people do, where I can look over a program and see if I would do anything to change it based on what your goals claim to be. So if you have something that you're doing right now, you can send it to me and I might give it a couple tweaks, but I cannot commit to making routines for people. And I know most people would charge for that anyway. I really just want to see you all improve. I want positive things to happen for you, so I don't charge for stuff that I'm doing right now. Maybe I should. Maybe that if I was getting some sort of compensation for a lot of the information, I would be able to make the time to sit down and make a routine for people who are willing for that. But I just am not capable of it right now. I'm going to college full-time, working full-time as an RA here, double majoring with a minor, and I've got so much stuff that I'm doing, trying to focus on my own lifting too. So please remember that, guys. It's not that I don't want to help you and don't want to see you succeed. It's just I just don't have time to make a program for everybody who asks for one. That's it for this video. Those 3 questions went almost the whole 15 minutes. So I do want to say thank you again for the questions. I wanna specify that if you are gonna leave questions that you want answered, please leave them either on the Chalk Talk video descriptions, the Universal site, Animal, or bodybuilding.com, or T-Nation, but make it specific for those. Don't leave it on my other YouTube videos, because I probably won't see those and get a chance for them, and I'm trying to pull all these questions together and make the videos with them. So just make sure you're posting them in those sites, preferably in the Universal USA forum, because those are where I see them the most, and those are the first questions that I get to every single time. I put those questions at my top list to get answered, because that's my company, and those are the ones that get top priority. So if you want a question answered and I start getting too busy, those are the ones that are going to go first. So thanks again for tuning in. Train hard, train smart, keep up all the work you guys are doing, keep up the questions, I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.